So this summer while I was doing festivals, I realized I would like to have some way to show front of house what was happening with patching. So on stage, we would have a house patch and we would have the current artist's patch based on the house patch. And as I was walking around connecting things up, I would change the gain, I would change the name, change the colors, and through a web-based interface, front of house could see what sort of changes were happening. So this is the template, the FF2 2025 template, which shows drums and bass, and then some instrument channels, vocal channels, um, based on the house patch. So as I was making changes, I would update the information, and it would change in real time. As you can see here, this is the next band. As I was changing them, they would come up on the screen, and it would also show the gain of the channel. So if it turned out there was because I was checking the levels on the iPad at the same time, I could see what their volume was like and make a gain change, and then front of house could have a look at that. It wasn't changing the gain at front of house at this point. It was just giving the information to the front of house engineer so he could have a look and see what was coming up where, as opposed to running up and having a conversation with what's being plugged in where, because a lot of things were coming up and there's a lot of channels going on at the same time. Notice that any channels that I'm not using will, or if they're turned off, we'll have a line through them, like feed mod and front house. Those talkbacks are all turned off at this point. And as we go through the scenes, they would the changes would show up. And so here's the next one, and then do the next one. You see how it changes as now this is happening in real time right now. I'm just recalling the scenes that were there, but these changes would happen in real time. And so the person could see that, okay, I'm plugging this particular thing in, and the gains are changing as we go along, and colors are changing, of course. So I try to highlight colors based on what person was playing those instruments. So try to group together the people. Let's say if there's a fiddler, he was all in green, for example. I didn't get it right all the time. As you see, these two guitar channels, they're not the same guitar player, stage left and stage right. But from time to time, I would try to get them all so the person at front of house could just look up and go, okay, I see that this person is playing all of these different instruments as I go through them here. And that way, they have a good idea where the stuff is, where it's coming up, and who's playing it, and also what sort of gain it had. So I found that could be kind of handy. And as I said, as you make changes in real time, if I go to a particular channel and make a change to it, let's see here. If I just make a change to the gain on I1, for example, turning it up or turning it down, or if I change the name, make it my name, and whoops, if I knew how to spell, that would be good. And if I wanted to change the color to something else, I could do that. And it would just make those changes in real time, so you can see channel 17 was changing as I did that. So it all happened in real time, and if I recall that scene, it'll go back to what it was originally. So that was one thing. And then I also felt like on the CL console and QL console and some other consoles, if you're doing an event that requires a whole bunch of scenes, sometimes you have that scene list sitting in front of you on the screen. It kind of gets in the way because that's the only thing you can look at while you're using the console. You can't see your home screen, or you have to go back and forth between the home screen and the scene screen. And also, I thought if you're doing a theater event, it might be handy for people to be able to see what particular scene you're in. So we're looking at two different mixers right now. One on the left is a CL, and the one on the right is a DM3. And if we go to the scenes page, it shows you the current scene by highlighting it. And then I added the ability to make notes. So you can type a note in like this drummer hits hard. And then whenever you go to that particular scene or click it, you can see it. And you can enter those notes anywhere in the show, whether you're in that scene or not. You can go ahead and edit those notes, and you can have them above or below. You notice that I've got them below on the right here. You can have them on the left or the right, depending on how you like them to be sitting. So if I make this window smaller, it'll move the notes to the bottom, and then move it back to the right. And you can also decide how wide and narrow you might want that to be. So that's one thing. And then of course at front of house and monitors, it would be nice to be able to talk to each other. So if I have something to say like, watch out for the acoustic guitar, it lights up and then flashes and lets you know that there's a message that you need to go to that tab and have a look. And as you see it, it shows it there. If you click in there, it disappears, and then but you can type some more, and it displays it in real time. If you clear it, it clears both, and so that way you can kind of have some quick communication between front of house and monitors, and like that. So yeah, just a couple of kind of interesting functions that it does, and kind of useful. We'll see how it works out on tour here as we're going through using it. It worked very well during the summer on the festivals. Just this input list part, we weren't using multiple scenes per show, so the scenes part wasn't as useful as that, because we were going on the fly. We weren't really bringing up bands, sound checking them, coming back then. If we were, using the notes might have been helpful, but in this case, the input list was the most useful thing. Obviously, you can go dark mode and light mode however you like. Yeah, so there you go. Kind of cool.